हाय गाइस, वेलकम टू माय चैनल ऑलराउंडर मॉम। और मैं आ गई हूँ अगेन एक बहुत ही इंटरैक्टिव बुक रिव्यू के साथ, और रीड अलाउड भी हम करेंगे साथों साथ। तो चलिए स्टार्ट करते हैं। ये है पेपा सुपर नॉइजी साउंड बुक। साउंड बुक्स बच्चों की फेवरेट होती है। आप डिफरेंट डिफरेंट साउंड बुक्स मिल जाएंगी, जैसे कि व्हीकल साउंड्स, एनिमल साउंड्स, जो बच्चे काफ़ी ज़्यादा इन्जॉय करते हैं। तो मैंने लिया है ये पेपा का सुपर नॉइजी साउंड बुक, सो विच 18 फैंटास्टिक साउंड्स। तो ये बुक में आपको पीछे बटन है जिसे आपको ऑन करना है, और बैटरी है जिसे आपको प्लेस करना है। तो चलिए स्टार्ट करते हैं। मैंने इसे ऑन किया है, ऑफ ऑन किया है। तो चलिए स्टार्ट करते हैं फ्रॉम द वेरी फर्स्ट पेज। Peppa Super Noisy Sound Book. I'm Peppa and this is my super noisy sound book. Press the button as you read the story. So this is a very rainy day. Peppa and George are in the house and we are going to have a quiet day inside, says Mummy Pig. Oh, sang Peppa and George disappointed. Peppa and George love going outside. So can you see these two symbols over here? So we are going to use this two symbol here. That's the sound of rain. And the second one is Peppa, which is here. Then, ho ho, cheer you too, smiles Daddy Pig. You can help mend the kitchen cupboard. Kitchen cupboard are boring, says Peppa. I don't like the rain. Hee, snort, giggles George. So here is again Peppa and the rain sound. Then as you turn, just then the telephone rings. It's Mrs. Rabbit, Rebecca Rabbit's mummy. Can Rebecca and Richard come to play? She asks. Of course, says Mummy Pig. Yippee, cheers Peppa, hee hee hee. So there is the sound of a phone, then there is, Rebecca Rabbit, and then there is Peppa, who is super excited. So here you can find the telephone, Rebecca Rabbit, and the super excited Peppa. So Rebecca and Richard Rabbit arrives. Richard has bought his brand new toy car. Brum brum, squeaks Richard, and George has his toy Mr. Dinosaur. Dinosaur, growls George. So there is the sound of this brand new toy car and a sound which George makes for his dinosaur. So here is it. So again, it's a really interactive and fun, enjoyable book. Then Peppa and George get out of their musical toys and make lots and lots of noise. Hee-haw, laughs Peppa, very proud of herself. Hooray, cheers Rebecca and Richard. So there's laughing Peppa, Rebecca Rabbit, and then there's Peppa again. So now Susie Sheep has arrived and Mummy Pig has made lunch for everyone. Gobble, gobble, moo, delicious, everyone cries. Burp, burps. Peppa, excuse me, he. So then there is, Susie Sheep. Then there's salad. Then there is again both Peppa sound, which is like she is shocked or she's burping, sorry. Then it's stopped raining, says Mommy Pig. Let's take the leftover bread and feed the ducks. Squeak, squeak, cries Rebecca Rabbit. Shall we give them carrots? Rebecca Rabbit likes carrots. I think ducks would prefer bread, says Mummy Pig. So there's a sound of duck. Then snot quack, says George, jumping up and down. Peppa, George, says Mummy Pig. Let Daddy put on your raincoat boots first. Yes, George, says Peppa. If you jump in muddy puddle, you must wear your gum boots. So then there is sound of duck, and then there is muddy puddle. We've already heard the sound of duck. We'll hear the. So that's really, really nice. Then on the next page, we are going to see the ducks. We are going to see the ducks, sings Peppa. George, Susie, Rebecca, and Richard all join in very loudly. Hoo hoo, loves Daddy Pig. What a lovely song. But you don't have to sing it quite loud. So we have heard all these sounds. Then, hello, Mrs. Duck, cries Peppa, throwing some crumble. I hope you're hungry. It's Richard Rabbit's first time feeding the ducks and he's a bit scared. Don't be scared, Richard, says Peppa. They won't hurt you. Watch me. Then Peppa shows Richard how to feed the ducks. Quack, 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 shouts Richard. Dinosaur, shouts George. Grrr, hee, silly George, laughs Peppa. You always say dinosaur for everything. Then why don't you find some muddy puddles to jump in, says Mummy Pig. Yippee, Peppa shouts. Splish splash, everyone is having a wonderful noisy time jumping and splashing. So there's Susie Sheep, Rebecca Rabbit, there's Muddy Puddle, and then there is Happy Peppa. Then here is Danny Dog and his mommy. Danny jumps in a big muddy puddle. Oops, he splashed Daddy Pig's glasses. Oh dear, says Peppa. Now Daddy will be grumpy. I am not grumpy, snorts Daddy. So here is the sound of which guy? Danny Dog. So here is Danny Dog. Then how about a nice quiet game of hide and seek, suggests Mummy Pig. Yippee, shouts Peppa. I'm brilliant at seeking. Everyone hides while Peppa covers her eyes and counts to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Here is laughing Peppa. George isn't very good at hiding. He hides by a tree with his eyes closed. Peppa thinks it's very funny and decides to surprise him. Very quietly, she creeps up behind him, snorts, grunts loudly. Peppa loudly, hee hee hee. Oh dear, George is very surprised and dumps Mr. Dinosaur in a muddy puddle. Wah! George starts to cry. Peppa, have you been teasing George, says Mummy Pig. Sorry, George, says Peppa, and there is, George crying away. All the parents have come to collect the children. It's time to go home. Goodbye, everyone. Cheers, Peppa. Everybody waves goodbye. Hoo hoo, chuckles Daddy Pig. Peace at last. It's time for Peppa and George to go to bed. But first they brush their teeth, scrub. Now let's have a nice quiet bedtime story, says Mummy Pig. What shall we read, says Daddy Pig. Can we have one all about music, asks Peppa. I love music. So there's a bedtime brushing time. Brush sound as well. Then Daddy Pig begins the bedtime story. It's about two very noisy piggies playing very noisy musical instruments. Peppa and George and even Mr. Dinosaur join all the actions. Growls George. He laughs Peppa. Then there's sound of dinosaur. Peppa and George are a little bit sleepy. George starts to fall asleep first. Snore. That wasn't a very quiet day, giggles Peppa, yawning. No, it was a very noisy day, Peppa, replies Daddy Pig, smiling. But Peppa is already fast asleep. So there is, Peppa sleeping. There's George sleeping. And then there is Peppa yawning. So, they learn about the entire day. Like before going to sleep, you should brush your teeth, change your clothes, and sleep. They learn about different actions like yawning, excited, crying, sad, surprised, different sounds of rain, muddy puddle, brushing, telephone. So it's a very, very, very interactive book. बहुत ही अच्छी book है. आपको इसमें मिलते हैं 18 फैंटास्टिक साउंड्स. अगर आपको ये वाली बुक का वेरिएंट नहीं पसंद है, अगर आपके बच्चे पेपा पिग एंजॉय नहीं करते हैं, तो आप दूसरे वेरिएंट्स ले सकते हैं, जैसे कि मैं आपको बताया था स्टार्टिंग ऑफ द वीडियो में, जैसे कि व्हीकल या एनिमल साउंड्स. बट माई 4.5-year-old enjoys these books the most. So she opens the book and she cannot read now, but she just understands the scene and she presses this button और वो बहुत ही ज़्यादा enjoy करती है अपनी बुक को. तो ये बुक मैंने ली है अराउंड 600 रुपीज़ आई सपोज, 650 रुपीज़. और इनके डिफरेंट सीन्स वेरिएंट भी अवेलेबल, जैसे कि स्टॉम्प एंड रोर विच हैज़ ओनली आई थिंक सो 5 साउंड्स, एंड देन अगेन दिस वन जस्ट हैज़ 18 फैंटास्टिक साउंड, पायरेट्स आइलैंड. So this Peppa storybook has 18 fantastic sounds for noisy little piggies to press. Find out what happens when Peppa and George's very quiet day turns very noisy indeed. Collect these other great Peppa titles as well. So again, बहुत ही अच्छी बुक है. Again, लेडी बर्ड ब्रांड की है बुक्स, जो बहुत ही फैंटास्टिक होती है. तो आप ज़रूर एक नॉइजी बुक में इन्वेस्ट कीजिए. बहुत ही बच्चों को इंटरैक्टिव लगती है. दे लर्न अबाउट डिफरेंट साउंड्स एज वेल, हाउ द डिफरेंट साउंड्स आर, एंड it's just a fantastic book. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching.